Why would somebody pay you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to let you tattoo their face? That's what we're going to break down in today's video, and I'm going to share exactly how you can turn a complete stranger, somebody who has never heard of you before, into a paying client that's paying you $4, $5, $6, $7, $800, even more every single time. Hi, my name is Danny Tran. I am the founder and CEO of Highstoke Media and PMU World, and over the years, we have worked with over 1,600 beauty pros and artists worldwide, helping them scale to six, multiple six, and even seven figures with the exact strategies that I'm going to share with you today. Now, let's go ahead and rewind a little bit and zoom out and preface this entire video by stating the facts. Number one, if you've been relying on referrals and organic and word of mouth, then this video is specifically for you, because at the end of the day, referrals and organic, it's eventually going to dry up. It works great for a while, especially if you have a lot of connections and people in your network and existing clients, but it's not very dependable. And during certain seasons and moments throughout the year, it's obviously, again, going to dry up, and you can't depend on that source forever. Number two, there is a big trust recession now, specifically in our industry. With so many new artists popping up, there's so much bad work and horror stories. People need a lot more trust before they're ready to buy, which means there needs to be much more touch points before somebody is ready to make that jump or commitment. Just think about the last time that you had to make a purchase above $500 or even $1,000. You didn't buy it right away, right? After seeing it for the first time. You had to see it multiple times. Maybe you saw multiple ads. You did your research. You went on their website. You looked at the reviews. You asked your friends. You stalked their social media and Instagram. And you had to have, again, dozens of touch points before you're like, okay, I fully trust this product, service, or person, or whatever it is. Now I'm ready to buy. And the same thing is happening with you, where long gone are the days, especially if you've been in this game for a while, where you can just post something on your social media, it goes viral, and everybody's ready to book with you right away. It's 2026 now, and not only is it a pay-to-play world, it takes a much longer sales process and specific system if you, again, want to turn somebody who has never heard of you before into somebody who is willing to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars with you, knowing that they also have hundreds or thousands of other options that are literally down the street. So how do we combat and solve this? The very first thing I want to go over is something called the customer buying journey, okay? Now, I'm going to draw a big arrow here, okay? Okay, and I'm going to put here, ready to buy. And then on the left side, not ready to buy, skeptical. Okay. And now I also want to break down the difference between referrals, and I'm gonna make this another color. Let's do online advertising. Okay. Now, again, what a customer buying journey is essentially the process that is taking somebody from somebody who has never heard of you before, somebody who is skeptical, they just found out about you for the first time, all the way to the point where they're ready to buy, right? There is that process of, again, you just finding out about something. There's that interest that is generated, you having that trust, and then they're ready to buy. But I want to break down the difference between referrals and online advertising, because we do get this a lot across all of our clients. So if you just take a look at this, the blue is like the more skeptical, right? And then I'm going to do let's do like a yellow. Okay, so like the yellow, it's like, okay, some trust has been built. And then green is like, all right, I trust you, like I'm ready to buy. Okay, now, when it comes to referrals, when a friend, let's just say, refers somebody over to you, they're typically like in the middle of this process already. Like they're pretty warm, okay? That's the best way to think about it. Like they're not cold, but they're not super hot, or they could be super hot. But most of the times, like they're pretty warm, because if a friend that they trust so much, or a family member that they trust so much, has referred you over to them, then that means they immediately trust that person, and they immediately trust you. Like that trust is transferred. Think about the last time that somebody referred you to a restaurant, right? You were probably like, okay, like if Jenna said it was good, like I trust her, she's my bestie, like I already love this restaurant, like I feel like I'm gonna have a great time. Like you already have this I'm ready to buy mentality, right? Or somebody referred you over to their lash tech or their hairstylist or somebody else. Like there wasn't this need to have to build all this trust ahead of time, because you trusted that person and they referred you over to somebody that they trust. That trust is immediately transferred. And so That's the reason with referrals and organic traffic, why and word of mouth, and why a lot of times it seems so easy to close them. Like they come to you and they're like, "Hey, Jenna, like I was referred to you over by Christy, and I saw what amazing work. Like I'm ready to buy. How do I book an appointment?" And so that is really easy because again, they're super warm, and taking them cross that finish line so that they're ready to buy from you, it doesn't take much. And so in a perfect world, we can rely on referrals and our organic and word of mouth and just deal with people who are ready to buy. But if you want to scale, that's simply not going to be the case. When it comes to online advertising, somebody sees your ad for the first time. They don't know who you are. They might have some interest, but they are very skeptical. So with online advertising, they're all the way over here, okay? At the end of this customer buying journey. So they're not ready to buy. They're skeptical. They inquired. They click on the ad. They ask a few questions. They're still skeptical. And look at all of this additional work that they have to go through in order just to get to the same part of the buying journey as the referrals. Okay, so it takes a lot more steps. And I just wanted to highlight this because many people seem to, number one, only want to work with referrals and organic and word of mouth. And they also think that all leads are simply the same. Whether the referrals or online advertising, they should all be the same. And so when somebody runs ads for the first time, they immediately think, oh my God, my quality of leads are like shit. Like, who are these people? Like, they're not ready to buy. They're ghosting me. They're price shopping. They're not serious. Like, such low quality leads, right? And I just want to highlight that it's not that they are low quality leads. They're just at a different stage of the buying process, and they need a lot more trust to be moved down the customer buying journey just to get to the same point as referrals, okay? Whereas referrals, they come in, they hear about you, things are great, and they're ready to buy. Like, they're super excited. Like, those are the dream clients, right? But again, it's not scalable and it's not dependable because you only have so many pockets of people when it comes to that source. So if you want to scale, you do have to invest into online advertising. But what that means is that you will now start attracting people at the other end of the customer buying journey. It takes time to get them to build trust and to get them to the point where they're ready to pay. And so I just wanted to preface that because as you're going to run ads, I guarantee you're going to be like, this is shit. What's up with this lead quality? Like, nobody's serious. Like, who are they? Like, and again, the only reason why somebody is not buying from you is because they don't see the value or they don't trust you yet. And so again, this is the customer buying journey. And it's so important to understand that, again, it's not low quality. They're just at a different stage of the buying process. And because of this process here, I'm just going to put this whole arrow. What we're going to go over today is breaking down this process, taking somebody who is at the end of one side, the skeptical, not ready to buy, all the way to them getting to the point where they are ready to pay. We're going to also look at this journey is going to be through a sales funnel, okay? So I'm going to do the best that I can, and we're going to split this 5 ways. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this is a sales pipeline. And the best way to also think about this as a sales funnel, okay? So when you are in the beginning, what you want to do is attract, these are people, okay? I can't even draw circles right now. These are all people right here. You want to attract as many people as possible. And on the other side, obviously it's not going to be everybody. There's just going to be the few select ones, right? Because at the beginning, you're casting this wide net and attracting as many opportunities as possible. But as you take them through a sales funnel, some people might not be qualified. They might not be the best fit. You can't work with them because they have previous work. And you eventually end up with, obviously, your dream clients and the people that you end up working with. Now, this whole process, okay, there's 5 steps here. And the acronym is going to be AECNC. All right. And so I'm going to go through one at a time. Attract. So this is essentially how you are attracting people. And again, we're going to break through down each one of these steps and what it actually means and like the nuances and whatnot, but just very high level right now to explain the funnel. The first thing that you need to do is attract. You need to attract as many people as possible. You got to figure out where they're hanging out and saying, hey, This is my business. This is my services. I exist. You want to attract them, right? Then once you attract them, you want to engage with them. So once, okay, it's like, okay, you have my attention. Now what? How do you get me excited? Okay, so think about it like that. Once you attract that attention, how do you get somebody interested enough where they say, yes, I want whatever it is that you're offering? So a lot of people make the mistake of, okay, I attracted these people. Now they're going to book, and then they don't book. And it's because they're missing all of these different parts of the process, right? So you want to engage them with something that is sexy, like a really good offer. Again, we're going to break that down, okay? Once you have their attention and you engage with them, you want to capture, okay? This basically means to capture their information in a way that allows you to follow up later. So we're going to talk about like landing pages and lead forms and messenger ads, and having a vehicle or a mechanism, without getting too techie here, where you have the capability to follow up with them a week, a month, a year from now, right? And then next is nurture. Okay, going back to my last point, once you've captured them, now you have the capability to follow up. And nurturing them and building that trust is the way that you build all of this trust to get them to the point where they are ready to convert. And convert basically means they become a paying client for you, okay? So this is going to be the entire sales pipeline here, and we're going to break down each one, but the best acronym to remember is AECNC: attract, engage, capture, nurture, convert, where you make a ton of money. Okay, now let's go through each one. So I am going to start with attract. Okay, so attract essentially means getting in front of the right people. And I'm going to write this as well. Get in front of right people. Okay, and the best way to do that is figure out where they hang out. So if I were to ask you, okay, who's your demographic? And if you say, okay, it's typically ladies between the ages of 25 and 60, where they hang out? Probably on Instagram, probably Facebook, maybe some Facebook groups. Okay, that's where you want to go. So I also want to highlight that that's why running sometimes like billboards and flyers and things like that, it's like a shot in the dark, finding a needle in a haystack. You're trying to cast this huge wide net that's not really targeted, and you're trying to attract everyone, even if they're not the ideal clients for you, and you waste a lot of money. And so some mechanisms here, it's super easy. So actually, I'm just gonna scoot it over here because we have a lot of steps. So you can do Facebook groups. Okay, if you know that a lot of people are in Facebook groups, start utilizing these. And in every single city, there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands. And you have the neighboring counties, neighboring cities, and the neighboring suburbs, right? And so utilize all of that. And there's like buy and sells and promo groups and promote your business groups and moms groups. And there's so many different ways. But yes, Facebook groups are a great way, especially if you're in the beginning stages of your career and you want to do like model calls and build your portfolio. Facebook groups, I always highly recommend here. Okay. The second thing is you can also partner with local businesses. Okay. And so if there's another local business that offers complementary services. So let's just say if you do permanent makeup, partnering up with hairstylists, estheticians, medical spas, massage spas, even like cryotherapy, fitness places. That way you can refer people over to each other. And so if you know that your clientele like hangs out there, it's really good to partner up with businesses where you can send clients and whatnot each other's way. But where I really want to direct your attention to is really paid ads, okay? This is the money maker right here. And if you are not running ads, especially in 2026, like you are already going to fall behind. Like in a world where there's so much noise and competition and options now. And again, things are not the same as back then. You could just post something and go viral and everybody wants to book with you. That's no longer the case. So running paid ads not only allows you to cut through the noise, but it allows you to put your ads in front of people that you didn't even know you existed yet. And most importantly, it attracts your ideal clients, because with paid ads, you can attract your demographics, right? So this could be like age, gender, okay? So I'm going to put like age, gender, okay? And then location as well. So you can target, let's say, specific neighborhoods, your city, your neighboring city. And so if you never run meta ads before, specifically with Instagram and Facebook, and boosting ads not a mechanism, by the way, like I would not boost posts whatsoever. That's probably a story for another day or a video for another day. But with paid ads, running it correctly, you can also target locations, specific zip codes and neighborhoods. Okay. You can also target specific languages. So this is kind of like a ninja technique, but if you, for example, speak Vietnamese or you speak Spanish, and if you run your ads specifically in those languages and you can target people who speak those languages, that is a super ninja way to immediately build rapport for one. But number two, you already stand out because nobody is really doing that right now. Okay, so with paid ads, and this gives you the mechanism to attract the right people right away. So again, that's a really short one, but again, finding out where people hang out and being able to get in front of them. So you can utilize Facebook groups or partner with local businesses. But what I always recommend is just running paid ads, because this is the surefire way of like, hey, Facebook and Instagram, I want you to show my ad to everybody who lives in the city of, let's just say, Bakersfield, California, only women between the ages of 25 and 60, and these specific neighborhoods and the ones that do speak Spanish. Like, think about how powerful that is. Like, you're just laser focused on the demographic you want to target. Okay. Next, engage. So once you attract them, how do you engage with them where you generate, yes, I want it type interest? Okay. So like I said, once you attract the right people, you need to get their attention. You need to maintain their attention. Just because you're like, okay, I attracted them, you could attract the right people. But if your ads and your content is absolutely shitty, like nobody's going to click on it. It's not going to engage with them, right? And so attracting is just the first step, but it's how do you engage and get that interest now? And so the very first thing that I do want to highlight here, okay, is whatever your offer is. And I did not think this through, and I am just going to move it over here. Okay. So whatever it is that you're offering, most beauty pros and artists, they run really basic ads. Sign up to get 20% off your microblading session. Like, that's just boring, right? And so a couple of things when it comes to your offer. Okay. So number one is value stacking. I learned this really early in my marketing days. And also, we used to work with a lot of different types of doctors, and more specifically dentists. And we were trying to help this clinic stand out because there were so many other dentistries, like specifically in that area. I'm like, well, everybody's wanting like a free teeth cleaning offer. And keep in mind, this is years ago. This was like 2017. So marketing and paid ads was still like kind of getting up there, and not a lot of people were running ads. And most people were just utilizing like Groupon and things like that. And so Groupon actually does a really good job with value stacking too, by the way, be able to get some inspiration. So the dentist, everybody in the area was just running like a discount of teeth cleaning, right? It was just like a very basic offer. And so I asked, hey, doc, walk me through everything that a patient goes through when they come in for this teeth cleaning. It's like, well, they come in, they have like an initial consultation, and then we do their x-rays, and then we do like a cleaning, and then we brush them, and then we floss them, and then we have the fluoride rinse, and then we have like some anti-cavity things, and then at the end, we're going to go through all the x-rays, and I'll give them like a good game plan, and then I'll give them like the specific strategy, and then we even give them like a little gift at the end. And so I was like, wait, that's like 8, 9, 10 different things that you're doing, right? And it's like, yeah, well, I'm like, wait, why aren't we saying that? And it's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, what if we call it like an introductory dental package, like an introductory dental cleaning package. And that way, by calling it a package, okay, the value is so much higher. So it's like, do you want a free teeth cleaning, or do you want a full comprehensive dental cleaning package? Obviously the latter, right? And so we positioned as the package. It was the same price that everybody was promoting the teeth cleaning as, and it's actually the same thing. Well, we're just breaking down. So with this full comprehensive dental cleaning package, they would get the consultation, they would get the x-rays, they would get the full brushing, they would get like the flossing, and then we get the fluoride rinse, and some anti-cavity stuff, and they would get a gift, and then like a step-by-step game plan. It was all of these things. And then like a report of findings as well. It's been so long. So a report of findings. And so now it's like, whoa, your value is so much higher compared to everybody else's. And so going back to my point, like with value stacking, what I wanted to mention is that if you just package your things as a package, all of a sudden it's so much more value. And so I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place here. Let me zoom in real quick. And so Normal people, 20% off microblading, okay? Boring. With us, what if we called it a dream brow package? Okay. And then this comes with our another story with our first client. It's like, okay, Kathy, so walk me through step by step what everybody gets and they do from the moment they walk into your studio, okay, to get their brows done. It's like, okay, well, first they do like a consultation, and then they get like a full mapping and color session, and so we can figure out like what's best for them. They get that consultation, and then they get the full 3-hour brow session, and then they come back for the 4 or 6 week touch up. But after the first session, they get the aftercare kit and guide. We even give them like a little gift that comes with it, and it's like, okay, whoa, like that's a lot of stuff. And so we started mapping it all out, right? We're like, okay, so they get a consultation, okay, and then they get like a color/mapping session to figure out what their brows will look like. They get the full session. They get the aftercare guide. They get an aftercare kit, okay, and then they also get a luxury, we call it a luxury VIP goodie bag. Okay, so this was just like a couple of products that she was giving away for free. And then she also did at that time a free touch up, and then also 10 or 20% off next service, any service, because she also did like lashes and lips and things like that. Okay, so now the question is like, do you want a 20% off a microblading session, or would you want 20% off your dream brow package, which includes your one-on-one consultation, your full color mapping session, your full 3-hour brow session? You get an aftercare guide and kit, a luxury VIP goodie bag full of products, and your touch-ups included, and you get 10 to 20% off any of our other services. It's the same thing that the first one's offering, but now you're value stacking and making it seem so much more attractive, right? Hey, now, I hope that gets you super excited, okay? Like, that's like the first thing. The second thing would be urgency. What is urgency? Why should somebody buy from you right now? Anytime that you are running an ad or a promotion or an offer, you should always give somebody a reason to buy, okay? So whenever you're running, let's say, a promotion or an offer, an ad, you don't just want to say, hey, get 10% off my microblading package. Like, you always want to package it in not just a value stack, but giving them a reason to buy. So you can use seasons. It's a spring special. It's a summer special. It's a back to school special. It's the start of the year special, okay? There's always a reason to buy. It could be the start of the month, end of the month. Hey, it's my birthday month and I want to do a birthday special, okay? There's always a reason for people to buy. Your offer can remain the same, but the reason that somebody needs to buy is always going to be different. So this is how you stay relevant. So it can be seasonal, it could be spring, it could be end of year, it could be start of year, it could be holiday, right? Just give people a reason to buy, and it just makes it so much more hyped up and has so much better vibes and energy. And it really does incentivize people, because it's like, imagine it's November, right? Somebody's running 10% off a microblading session, and somebody's running 10% off your holiday dream brow package. All of a sudden, it's like, well, yeah, it's like the holidays. Like, of course I want that, right? Okay, next is scarcity. So limited amounts. So for example, 10 clients only. So when you're running your ads and whatnot, not only do you want a value stack, tell them everything that they're getting, telling them the reason why they should buy now, aka the holiday, but scarcity. Limited amount, valid for the first 10 people. Doesn't necessarily have to be true, but you're just basically giving them scarcity so that people make a decision right then and there, okay? So that's really it. With Engage, the biggest thing on how you can generate that yes, I want it interest is by having a great offer. And so by having a great offer means you have a value stack, breaking down everything that they're going to get and just showcasing that process, adding some urgency and scarcity, and just kind of like a bonus one right here as well. You should be using great creatives, okay? If you are running ads, some of the best creatives are just the simple before and afters. It could be the reels, very quick ones, because you only have a couple of seconds to capture their attention. Transformation reels, where it shows them like the before and after in a reel format, so it looks really organic. And so make sure to use great creatives, okay? Like, edit out the blemishes, the red, add a small filter on it, but not so that it looks unrealistic, obviously, but clean it up a little bit, because You have 2 seconds to capture someone's attention, and by having great creatives, you can be guaranteed to generate that interest right away from the get-go. Okay. Next is capture. What this means is you want to get qualified people to sign up. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that somebody makes is boosting posts, which again doesn't give you the flexibility to scale the right way and target the right people. And number two, the other mistake is sending people directly to your website. Like there's really no objective when you're sending people directly to your website, right? And you're also going to get a lot of drop-offs because let's say if somebody has no idea who you are, they get to your website and it's like, okay, like what do you want me to do? Like I'm not ready to book an appointment yet. And so when you are running ads, your objective should always be to generate leads. Leads, not customers, okay? You can't rush the sale here. You want to generate leads. So leads are essentially opportunities that are inquiries, people who are interested, people who want to learn more, and you take them because the next part is going to be nurture, which is the process to building that trust with them. But your objective is to always generate leads. And so again, don't send them to your website. And usually the mechanisms that you have would be a landing page, okay, which is like an external page that you're sending traffic to, and then you get them to give you their name, email, and phone number. Okay, so yeah, you can follow up. Okay, you can also do lead forms, okay, which is a type of campaign that you can create within the ads manager. And what we have found to work really great recently, and just for our industry, beauty, are messenger ads. So these are ads that will literally get them to send you a message directly on Facebook or Instagram. This has been such a great way for us. And I'm not saying that don't do landing page lead forms. It really depends. Every business is different, so test. Landing pages also work better for higher ticket and more personalized services. So let's say like areola, sometimes paramedical, SMP as well. Things that might sometimes that get flagged on Facebook and Instagram. But messenger ads have just been such a game changer because here's the thing. When somebody sends you a message, it's very hard for them to also ghost you because they're using the personal profile or their business account to message you, right? Number two, it's very low friction. So when you go to like a landing page, you have to like, okay, well, I have to enter my name, I have to enter my email, I have to enter my phone number, and then you also get a lot of drop-offs. Whereas messenger ads is very low friction. They click 2 things and then they can send you a message right away. And now they're in your DMs. You have that possibility and capability to follow up with them, okay? And then most importantly, with messenger ads, because they can see your portfolio. If they send you a message on IG, they see your ad, they're already on that platform. They don't have to get redirected somewhere else. Now they're like, oh, let me go check out Jenna's content. Wow, like that's a great work. And your portfolio is already on your Instagram. So you already have that trust that's being built. And so again, the next step in here is capture. Your intention with ads every single time is to capture that lead. The objective should always be to generate that lead so that you have the capability to follow up later. It's not to generate a sale. It is to not generate a customer, because when you have that mentality, you immediately rush the sale. You try to send them directly to your website, or you send them your link and you say, hey, book right away. Nobody's going to book with you right away. You're going to have drop-offs. So your objective is to generate leads, just opportunities for now, so that you can follow up with them later, build the trust, okay? And so that is capture, okay? And then we have nurture. So this is basically turning a stranger into a paying client. Oh my God, my handwriting. I'm gonna take a handwriting class after this. YouTube's making me realize how much chicken scratchy everything is. So this is the nurture now, right? Online advertising. As you can see, there's the process that takes somebody from not skeptical to ready to buy, okay? So you want to nurture them. You want to get them to the point where, again, they're ready to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars with you, and choosing you as their preferred artist and go-to person to let you tattoo their face, okay? So what you want to do is ask open-ended or low commitment questions. Okay. This is a much longer topic and we have another video for this. So watch that on the channel if you haven't already. But what we want to do here is ask them questions to understand more about them what style they're looking for, if this is their first time, why they're looking to get this done right then and now, and when they're looking to get it done, basically. The biggest issue that most people make is rush the sale. So once they get a lead, they say, great, here's my pricing, and here's my link, go book. It's like, okay, well, no, I'm just inquiring. Like, I'm not ready to book. Like, you didn't even hear me out yet. And so you want to acknowledge the lead. You want to make them feel like they're heard and seen. And the best way to do that is to take your time, unrush the sale, and ask very low commitment questions to move the conversation forward. So, for example, just out of curiosity, is this your first time getting your brows done? Just out of curiosity, what style are we looking for? A more powder makeup look or something that's a little bit more natural hair stroke like? How long have you been thinking about getting this done for? Why are you looking to get your brows done now? Like, is there a specific occasion you're looking to do this for? When are you looking to get your brows done, right? And so you want to ask those questions and nurture them. And then what I also want to recommend is always pushing for a phone or virtual consultation. Okay, this is also not rushing the sale. Most people just want people to book right away. And again, I just want to highlight that these are not referrals. These are not organic and word of mouth and people who come in with all of this trust built already. If you are at running online ads, there's this whole process right here that you have to take care of, okay? And so you have to take your time, and pushing for a phone or virtual consultation is one of the best things, because if somebody hears your voice, they're going to immediately have that trust and rapport built. They know what you look and sound like. And for you as a business owner, you can address all of their objections and questions in literally 5 minutes, something that might take 2 to 3 weeks of back and forth text. You can get them on the phone, build rapport, and push them to actually book the appointment on that call, and it takes you a couple of minutes. So I don't want to hear, Danny, I don't have any time for phone consultations. I'm so busy already. If you are not booked out, you do not have the luxury of saying that, okay? So book the damn consultation, phone or virtual, address their questions, and that's how you make a lot of money, okay? Yeah, no, I get really fired up about that because we hear this excuse all the time, and it's like, if you're not booked out right now, like, you should not be complaining about not having the time to do the thing that's going to contribute to you making more money. So it's just a matter of prioritizing. So with, yes, phone and virtual consultations, if you notice that somebody's asking a lot of questions, you can simply say something along the lines of like, hey, Jenna, do you have a quick 5 minutes right now? Let's hop on a quick phone call, and that way I can address all your questions and concerns. And then that way I can take a look at your browser to see what we can help you with. And then you can even do a FaceTime, you can do a Zoom. But the idea is that you want to nurture, okay? Whoops, wrong color. You want to nurture them here, okay? I also want to mention, you need to have follow-up strategies. Just because somebody said no today does not mean they'll say no tomorrow. Just because somebody said no now doesn't mean they won't be a customer for you next month or next year. How many times have you had somebody say, hey, I've been following you for 2 years now, and now I'm ready to buy? All the time, right? And so just because somebody is not ready now, you want to remember to keep nurturing them. So send them content. Anytime for example, if you know that they have Asian skin, right? And you just posted an awesome banger of a reel that shows an Asian brow that you just did, send that to them, right? So just continuing to nurture. Anytime that you have a new promo going on, a new reason to buy, like it's a spring and then now it's the summer, it's like, hey, Jenna, we just launched our summer promo where you can get 10% off your dream brow package. Is getting your brows done this year still a priority? And I thought of you since we just launched this promo, making them feel special, right? So nurture, nurture, nurture. Again, there's no such thing as a low quality lead. They're just at a different stage of the buying journey, okay? And then last but not least, I should have saved green for last, is convert. Create a loyal customer with a world-class experience. Once you get them to this stage where they're ready to convert, like, your job is almost pretty much done, right? So what you want to do is a couple of things. We have a video. Oops, we have a video on this. So I highly recommend actually watching that. But what you want to do is, especially if you are not booked out and you have a lot of DMs, manually book your appointments. Okay, it's less steps for the client, and you want to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to pay you money. And so manually booking your appointments basically means if somebody's going back and forth with you through DMs, you simply ask them a time, like, when they're wanting to get it done. It's like, okay, well, we have this Saturday and Sunday open. What works best for you? You prefer mornings or evenings? Cool, let's lock you in, right? And then you will physically go into your booking system and add that information versus sending the link to them and having them do it. Because anytime that you're making a consumer do additional steps, you risk them dropping off. And so manually booking your appointments is one of the most profitable things that you can do, okay? Okay, make bookings frictionless. Obviously, you're going to manually book a lot of your appointments, but I would also make your booking system frictionless. I've seen so many booking systems where I had to go through like 300 steps just to be able to book something, okay? One of the industries that frustrates me the most is like airlines sometimes with international flights. Some airlines have figured this out, but some airlines like, oh my God, you have to have your passport information, and then you got to have your visa information, and then you have to upload a picture, and then you can't even choose your seat yet until you pay. And it's just like, I just want to pay. So I've seen some crazy booking sites where I had to upload photos and check these terms and conditions and go through this document and sign something, and I haven't even given you my credit card yet. And so you want to make that booking process really frictionless. And I guarantee you, the less steps that you have for somebody to be able to pay you money, you're just going to make naturally a lot more money. Okay. And then you want to collect a deposit to finalize. Okay. To not dive too deep into this, because again, we have a lot of other content when it comes to like sales and whatnot, but you want to collect a deposit just to close it in. And the one note that I just want to emphasize here is don't be weird about it. Okay. I think a lot of people, when they're asking the deposit, it's like, well, we need if you want to do like a $50 deposit, we kind of require this. And it's like, if you're not confident about asking for money in your own business, like people are going to look at it weird. So that's the first thing. And a very simple script that you can always say, written, verbal, on a consultation is like, okay, Jenna, last step to lock in your time, we do require a $50 deposit. This is an industry-wide policy. Just to keep in mind, this is not any additional charge, and this will be fully applied to your service when you come in. We accept Zelle, Venmo, or I can send you a secure link with your credit card so you can pay. Which option works best for you? All you got to say, okay? Memorize that script. And you want to also get them options. So if you only offer, like, let's say like Venmo right now, it makes it difficult for certain people who prefer other things. So I always recommend we accept Venmo or Zelle, or I can send you a secure link so that you can pay with a credit card. What option works best for you? So you put the ball in their court and they choose what is best for them. Okay. And that's that. And then try to build a repeat customer. Okay. And we're going to have another video specifically for this, but this is going to be key. Your goal is to not just get a client. Your job doesn't end there as a business owner, because most of the money that you make will be from everything that happens after that first person comes in. Because if you can get them to come in for a second or a third service, you immediately triple your revenue from that person, or even on a monthly basis, without doing anything extra. You already own that traffic, you own that client, so you don't need to pay any additional money to acquire that client ever again. And so your job doesn't end. You want to provide a world-class experience, and then you also want to provide such a world-class experience that they want to come back, but you need to have a system that will get them to come back for a second or a third or even more services here. Okay. And then obviously from that, you're going to get referrals. So, yeah, I know that was kind of a long tangent here, but that's really it. This is the step-by-step process to turn somebody who is a complete stranger into a paying client with you. And just to recap a little bit here is that, number one, the customer buying journey, like, it's always so important to know and understand that, again, there's no such thing as low quality leads. The only reason why somebody doesn't want to buy from you is because they don't trust you yet. Okay. And you can't treat everybody like referrals, and you can't rely on only referrals. Eventually that dries up. And when you run online advertising, again, you're going to get people who are at the first end of the buying journey. They don't have that trust yet. And so what you want to do is create a marketing and sales process or a funnel. It attracts the right people. It engages them, so it generates that, yes, I want an interest with a great offer. Your ads and everything needs to capture them with the objective to generate leads. Once you generate that lead, you own that traffic. You never have to spend money to acquire them ever again. You want to nurture them, build that trust, and get them to the point where they're ready to convert and pay you money, come back for additional services, and refer you people. That is the name of the game. And so just to give like an example of like how powerful paid ads can be, I'm just going to put like bonus, okay? Let's say you spend like $1,000 on ads, okay? And let's just say you attract 100 leads, Okay, so $10 per lead. Okay, and then that's how you engage them with a great offer. You get 100 leads here, and then from that you're able to book 25 consultations. Okay, because you're capturing them and then you nurture them, and then from your 25 consultations you turn into 20 bookings. Okay, so let's just say you charge 500. Okay, and so with 20 times 500, you just basically made 10K, assuming all of these metrics are in place. But that's just a really good example of if you were to not just spend money, but if you have a great process and system and really understand your numbers, it really becomes a numbers game. And it's like, would you spend 1,000 to make 10,000 like all day long? And then from there, it's just a matter of scale, right? And so I hope that was helpful. I know, look at my rainbow chicken scratch here, but again, the acronym you should always remember is AECNC. Attract, engage, capture, nurture, convert. And the number one issue that I just want to remind you of again is that it's rushing the sale. It's not understanding that it takes a process to attract them. You need to have a great offer to engage with them. You then need to capture them in a way so that you can nurture with them later. And then once they're nurtured enough and they have enough trust, then they're finally ready to convert. Okay, so there is a process. And again, that is it. That is how you take somebody who's a complete stranger to somebody who's going to pay you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and coming back over again and again and referring all their friends and family to you. And that is the name of the game. It is very, very simple to grow this. And so with that said, if you are a PMU artist that's looking to grow to the next level and you want our team to actually take care of all this for you and build this entire system so it's completely hands off, I'm going to drop a link in the description. You can book a demo and consultation call with our team. We actually just launched something that's very new and we're so excited because we spent the past years just really proving it out across thousands of beauty pros worldwide. And now we have something for the first time in this industry that is really designed to help you get to the next level with less stress, no overwhelm, less work, and just helping you make more money heading into 2026 here. With that said, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.